And welcome back to the channel. If you clicked on this video, you already know what we got going on today. Vitti's beautiful GS300, GS430, GS400, forgot what it is, 4.3, so it's 430. We are going to be taking off the front subframe, hopefully get it done by today. We got to cut it and shorten it, plate it, and basically make a raised front subframe, which raises not only the subframe but the engine as well. The issue is, everybody just left this house. We have no extra vehicles. His car won't start. The Laurel alternator just went out, and I think we're gonna walk to the back and see if we can use the lawnmower to jump the car. So let's see what Vitti's up to, and well, it's already a great start to the day. What are you doing?
About to make something happen out of nothing.
And of course I missed it, but I was moving the C35 and the lawnmower jumped Vitti's car. When in doubt, rub it out, baby. We're gonna take a look under the car, see what we're working with. Finally up on jack stands. Subframe's not too beat up, as you guys can see. Yeah, you got some pretty big dents in the pan, so.
Look at the drain plug.
This is
On the pan.
ooh, toasty. That's okay, it's what Ty's looks like too. But just so you guys know, this is gonna actually raise the entire engine. Even though the pan and the subframe are gonna still be like level with each other, shortening the subframe basically means that you cut off where the subframe bolts on to the body, which raises the entire thing. So we'll go over it a little bit later. I don't know how much of a how-to this is gonna be, but we're gonna clean up a little bit underneath here, start taking some stuff off, and then we also have to grab a cherry picker from a homie if he gets back with me in time, so that we can lift up the engine and drop the subframe down. So I did this on my LS. If you guys wanna go back, I think I have an LS playlist. If you guys have been around that long, then you probably know already, but should be about the same thing. There's a dude that makes these online, but we're gonna make it ourselves. Pretty simple and easy, and we're gonna show you how to. So we'll start cleaning up, and we'll give you an update in a couple. And just a couple minutes later, J-Dog rolled up and is helping us. What? Anyways, this is the engine support bar that we got from Harbor Freight. As you can see, it just goes right across, has a bunch of adjustability for different size vehicles, and has a twist bar so that you can hoist up your engine. We really didn't need to actually lift up the engine. All we had to do was give it enough weight on it, I guess. Yeah, tension on it, just so the engine would hold, and we can drop the subframe. We did ended up taking off the tension arm bolts that go right here. On the lower control arm, you have this bar that goes and attaches on this side. We had to move the lower control arm out of the way, so I just recommend taking that off as well. But I think the last 4 bolts are gonna be the nuts on the subframe. We did take off the, I believe there's 2 nuts for both motor mounts, 2 on each side. Vitti just took those off, and I think also once we drop the subframe, we'll show you how we're gonna shorten it. But I believe Vitti's also gonna take off the pan and replace the pan, because there's some 10 mils and stuff that are in there, and a finger barely fits, so I don't think a socket or anything will fit.
Huh?
Oh, what the hell?
Jesus.
That's not my fault.
Oh, there it goes.
She done did drop. Vitti side is all.
Check it out.
Jacket?
What?
You know, how the fucking motor mount come with that side? It's not coming out evenly.
Put the pry bar in there.
Oh, we got like a wiring harness connected to it as well.
A wiring harness?
Or no, like the power steering or some motherfucker.
Something in there.
We got a bolt right here.
I don't even know where. Oh, I see. I don't really see, guys. I'm just bullshitting. That 10 mil that y'all gotta take out is right there. Y'all need a ratcheting wrench. You can do it with a regular wrench. That shit gonna take you forever. Forever. God damn, nigga, this shit hurts as shit.
So basically, I'm gonna hit him with one of these.
Huh?
So this is how the subframe mounts up to the car, right? Engine sits on this. You're gonna take a chunk out of it, right?
30 mil.
Basically 30 mil. You're shortening this, and then that leaves all of this open, and then we're gonna make a flat plate, basically drill the same holes that are in it right now. Or what we might be able to do is,
I think we can use the same plate. Just...
well, we might be able to cut this out right here, trim it shorter, and then just weld this back on. So yeah. Which basically, when you go to bolt this up, instead of it bolting here, now it's gonna technically bolt down here, which means the whole subframe goes up farther, raising the entire engine and transmission. And the subframe, so you don't hit the subframe. Hit it with a hammer.
What? Out of 3 days, I've seen 4 subframes destroyed. We out to Houston!
And
and we're back.
welcome back to day 2, I believe. Yesterday we ended up bringing the welder to the garage. We were all back here. You guys can kind of see that everybody was getting a little turns, you know what I'm saying, get some practice in, because, you know, all the boys are now fabricators, you know what I'm saying? But we picked up some metal from Alro the other day, and, well, Vicky traced these out. So these are going to be the plates that go on top of there. We tried to cut them as evenly as possible, I guess, like on both sides, like how wide they are. They are a bit different, so Vicky brought over both sides so that we could make sure that if one's skinnier, which this one looks a little bit skinnier, and this one's a little bit fatter. So we also have to cut these dowels pretty short, actually. Probably like a third of it or a fourth of it is what we're gonna end up using. And then
cut right there when we're going around, so I don't know how many.
True. But yeah, we're gonna end up getting those there just like that. And then we'll get the plate on top. Those will be cut short, and this is just so that when you have the plate to box it in, because this is so thin and is holding the engine, and you only have 2 bolts that go straight through it, it's basically to compress this top plate to the bottom plate, making it a lot more stable. So we're gonna start cutting this stuff up, and we'll get to welding here in a bit. I think Dre and Danny are gonna pull up. We gotta do the alternator on the G and throw some other wheels on it. So hope you guys are excited for this. We're gonna get this stuff cut and welded, and then we gotta wait for day 3, because in a couple days is when the motor mounts come in and the pan comes in.
Today I wasn't home though, but something came. I don't know what.
True, but yeah, there will be a day 3, so we're gonna get to cutting and get as much done as we can.
You gotta like jump on it to get it up. Do it. Pop out and try to get that one.
And update time. So we got both of these plates made. That is plate 1 and that is plate 2, as stated. We're taking these dowels, and you can see that where we cut earlier, they're kind of marked on it. And so we took one of the dowels, put it on there, and it seemed a great height that it was.
Show the marks.
Oh, stop! Toasted, bro.
Stop.
Cherry dog. But we put it in the vise, and we're gonna try and sawzall it. Worst case scenario, I go see if Nate has a bandsaw we can use or something, but that's the plan. We're just gonna tack those here at the bottom, kind of right where they went before. It allows, like, instead of this bolting against the car and then the pressure of the bolt, you know, squeezing anything, basically is, you know, something inside that just kind of helps box it in and keeps it structured. So we're gonna get those. We're gonna get these dowels made, and then we'll start tacking everything up.
He's bad at color. I'm not. You know those TikToks where it's like, show 'em.
And I never did no cocaine.
That's your collar.
And quick check-in. It's about like half an hour-ish later. I just got done with this second piece, and oh yeah, we're spiced up. So the dowels, we tack welded the dowels. I'll show you on this side because I totally forgot. After those dowels were tack welded, put the plate on top, tacked that on as well, and then started going to town. So just because it is on a flat surface, when it comes to mounting it on the frame, we'll probably grind down just a little bit, but the welds are super strong and ready to be on. So that was my turn, and now Vicky is about to hop on it, go to town on it, because you know, everybody's a fabricator now.
Everyone drop in the comments Vicky or Logan right now.
I mean, and then I guess Big Dog's working on the 37, I guess. Ebola and stuff. So yeah, Vivi's about to go, and then we'll play it by ear, one step at a time, baby.
That look kind of good.
That shit'll work.
It works.
I got that on film too.
It works.
You laying a beat or what?
I figured one good one would hold it.
Perk 10, I just caught the perk 10. Perk
I'm
30,
like, when are you gonna stop? I thought you were just.
I was like, if I put one good one on there.
I'm gonna be Mr. Lightman, look away, because with nighttime it's a lot easier when you have the light facing the holes. For when you're welding, you can actually see where the cracks are. And so, like, for instance, for this little gap, what we're gonna do is get most of the stuff that we can, and then we'll take a hammer and kind of see if we can bend it down a little bit. If we have to cut any slits, it's just a lot easier than trying to weld and fill the holes. And we are done. Well, other than putting the 2 holes in it, I think we are gonna sand down just a little bit, maybe on the sides and stuff, just because that's where the frame is. We'll have to show you that later, but for the most part, we're gonna kind of leave it as it is. We'll probably throw some black paint or something on it just so it doesn't rust, but they are all beaded up and pretty much ready to go in the car. Luckily, the holes on the bottom, we're just gonna put a big hole, and that's really about it. That's where the bolts go. For the most part, this thing is all welded up and ready to go in the car. We got the holes, and we'll paint it, and pretty much it. We could probably do this in, like, I'd say like within 6 hours.
Like out of the car?
It took us 1 hour to get it out the car, and then to cut it maybe half an hour. Making the plates, we just traced what we had right there, made the dowels, cut the dowels. It's just really cutting stuff, but other than that, and then putting it back in the car.
Houston prep.
Yeah, Houston prep. Houston prep. So that's pretty much it. We'll drill the holes and then put you along for the rest of the process.
Show them the black paint afterwards, it looks all nice.
Threw up the deuces. I was finna end that clip. And we are back for what is day 3. I figured I would kind of bypass some of the lame, annoying, and not fun to watch stuff. But we are putting the subframe back in the GS. Or I guess I should say we already put the subframe back in the GS. And we're kind of tying up, putting the arms and stuff together. It is very, very noticeably high. Seems like it is above the fenders, but we did try closing the hood and everything closed. We weren't sure if we're gonna have to shorten this oil feed right here. But this engine is so high off the ground. The subframe is finally stupid high. And I just finished getting this side together. We'll go over a couple things here in a couple that I found a lot easier, but that side's finally together. Brian and Vicky are putting this side together. And then, yeah, figured before the sun went down, Vicky did the oil pan earlier today, so that took, you know, a couple hours just to let stuff dry and tighten it up and whatever. And then we got RTV for that because there's no pan sealer. We got a filter. And what else did we get today? The third thing? Oh, and we got washers, which I'll show you guys in a couple, which go on the studs. I think I mentioned it earlier in the video, but I'll show you what we're talking about. We just got the steering rack in. It wasn't that much fun, but find out the easiest part is, or the easiest way is just taking off the tie rod ends, and that will basically stop from all this pressure. If you keep those on and you're pushing the steering rack all the way up, you're also kind of going against this. But to show you what I'm talking about for the washers, these 2 studs right here that the subframe goes onto, since we cut so much apart, that bolt, or I guess stud that comes out of the body, is only threaded halfway. So if we didn't put those washers as a spacer, then the nut wouldn't be able to go all the way up, and it would stop at the threads and the subframe would be loose. So you will have to do that if you are doing this. Another thing that we learned is take off your spindle, upper coilover and lower control arm. Makes everything so much easier. All it is the 2 bolts, 2 17s on the bottom. Take off the caliper and then undo it from the upper control arm. You can keep the brake rotor and stuff on, take that out, and well, it causes no pressure on the lower control arm. Makes it so much easier to put everything. It's not as heavy and so forth. But other than that, it was a little bit of finagling to get the subframe up. Of course, you know, there's always gonna be a little something. Am I missing anything? What was hard?
There wasn't too much hard. It's just getting the arms off, putting them back in. It just takes a little finesse, yeah.
True. But yeah. So I think we're gonna just make sure everything's tight. We'll put it on the floor. Maybe we'll see if we can get underneath and see, I guess, how much clearance we have. But
Supposedly we should be able to fit a 2x4 under there now.
hopefully. And this also raised the exhaust up another 1.5 inches or so.
Don't show the exhaust.
So, oh yeah, you ain't even gotta look at the exhaust. But now the exhaust is higher than the frame. The transpan and trans way higher than the frame. The subframe is now higher than the frame, which means that the pan is now secure and higher than the frame. So everything's pretty high. We're just making sure we're going through the last bolts, and then yeah, we'll throw it on the ground and we'll catch up with you guys in a sec to show you the final sitting position. And the car is finally on the ground. Obviously, the alignment is going to be tweaked. Subframe's raised, so now instead of the lower control arm being flat, now it's pretty much like this. The tie rod, the steering rack, everything's a little bit thrown off. So it is towed in a little bit on both, but the plan is to lower it anyways, right?
But it still goes.
Check that out.
Yeah.
I'm sure the engine is like touching the hood. Like it's probably that close. I think we raised your engine more than I think I raised my LS.
Dude, it was quite a big chunk.
And I thought I raised mine the max I could raise mine, but I don't know. The plan is to go lower, right?
Yeah, I want it sitting like.
Shut up.
No, probably just like hoping for an inch.
True. And then you have a like rear spat or rear lip bumper thing that wraps all the way around, right?
Yeah, I can show you real quick if you want to see it.
Yeah, we'll check that out. But figured I'd show you guys underneath the car real quick, especially since the bumper is off. Let's see how close we are to the ground. Yo, what the? Bro, there is so much room. I'm gonna put this camera.
Holy shit.
I'm saying, bro.
Dude.
Look, I'm gonna. Oh my gosh, this is so hard to show you guys, but look at this. I can fit my entire fist underneath everything on this car right now. Bro, the rear is way lower than the front. Like, I don't even know how to like explain this guy to you guys. But look, my camera's on the ground and I can fit my camera all the way underneath.
This golf ball's on a roll completely.
This is insane.
Oh, I missed.
Still. Bro, that's crazy. When you put the car down and I figured I would show you, I went to go look underneath and I still thought the car was being held up. So now it's like, bro, you have like, that's like 4 or 5 inches. It was, I could fit like my fist right there.
Holy shit. Dude, that is so high.
Dude, I'm game for it. You know what that means? That means we gotta shorten your bumper now too, because you're gonna go absolutely dump trucked low.
I can't go that low though.
Why?
Unless we cut out like everything. I can pull the fender off and show you real quick how much room we have. It's loosely on there. Say the word.
We might have to hold you guys to another video on that, but I think we're gonna wrap it up. Maybe throw the bumper on, but we gotta head out and go pick up some tires anyways. Real quick summary, if you're doing this, before you take off your subframe, I would take off the spindle. Oh yeah, facts, yo, let me know down below. You got a GS, come drop it off at the crib. We'll charge you not that much, and we'll do it for you. Well, yeah, fair price. More than better than the competition. But anyways, if you are gonna do this at home, cutting it, just make sure you cut it pretty level. Make sure that the welds are straight and use the dowels. That's pretty much all I would say if you're gonna box it in. And then also, yeah, this thing is stupid clutch. And you could hit a one-time use because it doesn't really get dirty and return it. Not saying that's what we're gonna do, but could be an option for you. Spindle off, get one of those to hold the engines up, and then I think that's really about it. Everything else was kind of straightforward. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was 3 days worth. We were talking about it earlier. Putting the subframe in was kind of a pain, just because things are at different angles. Everything's higher now. Suspension is all whack and different. So I would say it would probably be like a start at 8 in the morning, finish after dark type thing, unless you have maybe a lift or something. But I don't even know.
Definitely have some help.
Yeah, if you got some help. So you know, I'd say it's a weekend thing. Not that hard. The hardest part is probably, you know, welding and stuff. So on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video again. If you did, if it was helpful, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a sub. I'm gonna drop Vithy's IG down below, so if you guys are interested in seeing his GS, hopefully lower, different camber numbers, maybe some kits, some lips, some color changes, some exhaust, a little fab work, a little bit of everything here coming soon. So stay tuned for that, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.